You're watching.
Subscribe.
Hello, you're watching ScreenStalker. I'm Elfakador Laurie Blake. This is Chopper Pete Quiddow, and today we're talking about potential rumours of a Switch 2/Mini/Pro/Fancy Pants Edition/
Premium.
It doesn't work quite the same as the one before / Premium.
Nintendo's finest.
Yeah, Switch's finest. Taste the Swifferance.
There's some UK supermarket reference for all our US viewers.
So the Wall Street Journal back in October 2018 first broke the news of a potential new Switch, saying that a new model was on the way. The reports didn't quite say what would be upgraded or what would the differences be.
Analysts predicted that we will be getting two separate models. So we get like a Switch Pro, which would be like an upgraded version, and a Switch Lite, which would be, I guess, a downgraded version for more money.
Yeah.
But in February, Japanese business publication Nikkei, they added more weight to the reports that a smaller, cheaper version of the Switch was in development, probably like a Switch Lite.
So one of the aims of something like a Switch Lite, though, would be to reduce the sort of top-line cost for consumers and focus on the portable aspect of the machine. And then in June this year, the Wall Street Journal reported that Nintendo was moving production out of China to limit the impact of possible US tariffs on Chinese-made electronics, and that was according to people who work on Nintendo's supply chain. As part of that report, though, it was revealed that the 3 Switch models would be made at a new site in Southeast Asia. You might be thinking, 3 models? There is only 1 actual model of the Switch, so this suggests that secrets are happening in Southeast Asia.
So since then, we've actually had various other leaks and mock-ups from a Chinese accessory manufacturer, Honson, who apparently used secret information, sounds really ominous, secret information to create renders for the system so they could send out and advertise cases and accessories for this new kind of Switch product, which was confirmed when a Spanish arm of Game actually posted Switch accessories to their site that week, and then later removed them because they probably made a mistake.
Oh, they made a big old boo-boo.
A big boo-boo right there.
Honson was not happy. It wasn't Mbop. Game do it, and they take it down immediately because they're like a European-focused manufacturer, whereas a Chinese company uses Chinese sort of logic of business, which is like, it was fine in the 90s to just make a Nintendo if you wanted to and brand it Nintendo and sell it as Nintendo without Nintendo's inclusion whatsoever. So the mock-up showed a much smaller console with an actual D-pad instead of the 4 directional buttons that you get on the Switch now, but also sans removable Joy-Cons, which tied into all of the rumours that were going around. The other rumours said that without those Joy-Cons, you could still connect other Joy-Cons to the system and regular controllers like the Pro Controller. It would still work with the Switch dock that existed, but would not come packaged with one.
So it would only really work if you had an actual Switch already. Then you could get the other Switch, which kind of, I guess, defeats the point because the Switch is already portable. So you can get a portable Switch with your already portable Switch, but I guess it works if you have multiple people or, I don't know, for families or things like that. I guess it could work.
And that all leads us up to now, where we've had another sighting of a very similar render of a very similar looking console, which adds further evidence that this is actually a thing that's probably going to happen. Now, a leaker had reportedly got hold of some images from European accessory maker BigBen, who will be selling a silicone glove for the Nintendo Switch Mini. A condom by any other name would just smell as sweet. I love this. This was like when they did the Wii condoms as well for the controllers, because it was like, instead of just telling people to wear the wrist strap or making the wrist strap slightly stronger, they were like, do you know what? We'll just wrap the whole thing in a big condom. Hopefully that keeps everyone safe. Admittedly, my mum, playing the Wii on the first day that I got it, managed to hit the Wii remote on the ceiling, so.
Oh, that's impressive.
Playing, Wii tennis.
Wii tennis? I thought it would have been Wii bowling and you just go way too far with
Wii tennis,
with the back throw. Ah, yeah, of course,
Big old forearm swing. So part of the leak was there's a render of what the Switch Mini would look like inside said silicone glove. Snug being the answer. And there's also a photo of the box that says Mini Switch 2 on the packaging. So is this a potential name for the machine, or is it just a placeholder that BigBen have come up with?
So I think it's interesting to note that they're going to be selling a light version, it seems, because they're still selling the Switch at basically £280, £279.99 here in the UK. Though they're doing a bundle with £30 of eShop credit at the moment on their official store, so you should probably do that if you want that, because £30 is like, ooh, maybe half a good Nintendo game.
Or a lot of good indie games.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. But I guess that's the thing. So the Switch hasn't dropped in value at all in this time, but they do have a precedent of making cheaper alternatives to their like lead system, like with the 2DS, which was like a more robust, kid-friendly version of the 3DS, but it took out the 3D aspect of the 3DS, so the major selling point at one point, and made it also look like a weird doorstop thing. It was a gross-looking thing.
It was basically a slice of toast.
It was great for
like.
a slice of toast.
That's what it looked like. I got a 2DS because apparently I'm a kid, mainly because I didn't like the 3D feature because it gave me a headache, so I got a 2DS. It was much better. Yeah.
There's a slide.
I know the slider. I know
there was a slider.
I got the reference. Don't you worry.
Just slide it off. When you get to this point in the lifespan of a console, you've probably sold to a lot of the people you were already going to sell to. Like, Nintendo has already had all of its big hitting games. Like, it's had its Mario, its Zelda, Mario Kart, Smash Bros. Like, there's only so many people that are going to go, oh, Metroid Prime 4, probably buy a Switch when that comes out. Like, most people would have gone, I'm going to have to get a Switch for Breath of the Wild. And I know so many people that got a Switch specifically to play that game. So you have sold to a lot of people. That means that when you do this thing in this part of the console lifespan, you're probably selling it to those last few holdouts because the price was never right, or to people that already own a regular Switch and say have a family and their kids are pestering them to get their own Switch because they don't like sharing it to play whatever Scribblenauts and
Scribblenauts?
kid games.
And other kid games.
And other child's games.
I don't know of any. I don't play any. What are you talking about?
Fortnite.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but so like I guess that's the point. Is like you're trying to make the price appealing for this portable only version that you can just give to your kids, so they can, when Pokemon comes out, like your whole family can have their own system with Pokemon on it, and there's no arguing anymore. There it is. It's a family.
It's definitely still
There'll
arguing.
be something else to argue about. Put your goddamn trousers on, John. We've got to go to school. Get dressed. This is what this is what parents spend their time doing. Yeah, and John is a formal child.
John Kidd.
Got a formal child. John. This is my son, John Kidd.
John Kidd. So alongside this new Switch Mini, Switch Lite, Diet Switch thing that's coming out, there's also potentially going to be a Switch Pro, like an upgraded version of the Switch to go with it, which again is probably going to be selling to those who already have a Switch or those who are waiting for performance boost. Because I remember initially when the Switch came out, there were some concerns that in handheld version, it wasn't quite up to par, which I don't agree with because I think it's still great, but I can remember if someone saw that bit of press, they might not. They might have waited for an upgraded version, and this seems to be that. There's some performance boosts, but we don't really know exactly what they are.
Like, Nintendo positioned themselves completely away from performance enhancing sort of stuff post Wii. You know, there was never an upgraded Wii, there was never an upgraded Wii U.
There was for the 3DS.
So there was the 3DSi.
And then the 3DS XL, 3DSi XL, new Super Mario Bros. 3 XLU.
Yeah, so there were some slightly upgraded versions of those handhelds, but they weren't actually quite the value proposition that Nintendo made them out to be. They were like slightly faster loading times, big whoop. There was, you could only get Xenoblade Chronicles 3D remake thing on the 3DSi. Like, there was a couple of things that it was worth it for, but realistically, it's not going to break the, like, people aren't going to go to town on buying this Pro version of the Switch, I imagine.
Yeah, I think the Switch Mini is much more likely going to be the big selling point because it is pure handheld. It looks like a larger Game Boy Advance is really what it looks like, and I think it might resonate with a lot of people if they're not too keen on the docking formality of it. So.
Well, yeah, it depends if Nintendo go for that sort of like brutal aspect of, well, these games are only available on the advanced version. Like, if they do that, then people might upgrade. However, I think that's a bit of a douchey business practice in general. And two, I can see Nintendo much more likely trying to make all of their games a homogeneous whole that you can play anywhere you want to play on whatever console you want to play it on. You just get faster loading times and kind of, I wouldn't really say, probably the £100, dollars more price tag worthwhileness of it. That was a terrible sentence.
It was, wasn't it?
Well, that is all we have time for on this edition of ScreenStalker Talks Gaming. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see in a Nintendo Switch Mini and a Nintendo Switch Pro. Also, head on over there to watch more awesome ScreenStalker content. I've been Laurie Blake. This has been Chopper Peak Winnell, and remember, we're watching.